Hello. So BB23 episode 3 already. It's been a crazy week. Frenchie's HOH week has been absolutely nuts. Target has changed multiple times. It's hard to keep up with the feeds. I've been reading up on it and watching it, so it's been a lot. Let's dive into this episode. Picks up right after the nomination ceremony. So we see reactions to nominations and kind of more of the conversations after the fact. Frenchie says Alyssa is the target because he believes her to have a showmance with Christian and he is the showmance killer. Caylin is the pawn. Big D, basically all of us, super confused when I found out the nominations. I was perplexed, especially by Caylin being on the block. And this also shows that Frenchie's alliance members, his team, they're getting fed up with him being all over the place and constantly changing his mind. And I think him being trapped in this house, he's being affected and by his anxiety and his paranoia getting the best of him. He's used to being a farmer. He's used to doing things constantly and always moving, basically. And being in this house, you're kind of just trapped with your thoughts and a bunch of other people. Alyssa, confused by the big fish reference and Frenchie's speech and her being nominated, she thought she was being referred to as the big fish, and yeah, she didn't understand the whole Christian connection. Seeing Caylin sad breaks my heart. I know he probably feels like a lot is riding on him and he feels like a role model, which he is. I just feel bad because he seems like such a nice guy and with such a kind heart, and seeing him sad, I want him to do well and succeed. I know from the feeds, he's been a little all over the place, but I really like his alliance with Sarah Beth. Okay, so Azza annoyed with Frenchie's choices and the way he's going about things. She's made comments before about him just bringing people into the alliance and just doing whatever he wants and making alliances with everyone without consulting anyone. So I actually saw this one on the feeds. I put on my TV and it was on. It was Christian and Alyssa confronting Frenchie about Alyssa's nomination. And Frenchie, of course, says it's about the showmance, that he thinks they're in a showmance and he doesn't want any showmances. And Christian is like, well, you're just thinking that and saying that because of our appearance and we look like we would make a good couple, that we would look good together. And it's like, you hinting at it, like you just want them, you want Alyssa to know that you guys would make a cute couple. I think he definitely likes her and would want a showmance with her, but I'm not sure she's there. I could be wrong. Of course, to Frenchie, she wants to make it seem like it is totally a friend situation. I love the LGBTQ representation this season. Sarah Beth talks about being bi, coming out to her family, her girlfriend. I think Claire is also bi, and I think Big D and Caylin are also a part of the LGBTQ community. Yeah, I love Sarah Beth. I think she's so cute and sweet and really smart. She has great reads. First thing that stood out to me about her was when she said something about him coming up to them about someone volunteering as a pawn, and she says if they come up to you asking if you want to be a pawn, then you're really not that close. She also told Christian to compete in the safety competition. She's brought reason to Caylin, so those are just some examples. So we see Frenchie eavesdropping, and it's just funny because Tiffany was walking out while he was listening and he was just like acting like, he's gonna go in. Frenchie heard Derek X, Travis talking, their team talking, and he heard his name being bounced around. It didn't go fully into the whole Derek X situation this episode, so I think it's a little confusing, but yeah, it didn't really show the whole Brent thing. And yeah, I mean, it's been a confusing time trying to figure out what Derek X did for people to be upset at him. I know Whitney didn't like him from the beginning, and he kind of painted a target on himself because Frenchie and people were saying that he's making alliances and going around the house. It really honestly didn't even seem that big of a deal. It's Big Brother. But you know how it is. Anything to put an easy target on someone. I thought the whole part of Frenchie kind of telling Derek X that he's coming after him, and then Derek X helping him open the door because he couldn't open it because his hands were full. Funny. One of those awkward moments I love that they keep on the show and they edit it in. So yeah, Brent tips off Derek X about Frenchie targeting him and basically telling him, like, snap into action. I remember seeing Brent talk on the feeds about Derek X coming after him and Derek X turning on him. And now, you know, Brent doesn't want to lose a team member because that's losing a number. So yeah, we see the whole cookout alliance between Azah, Tiffany, Big D, Xavier, and Caylin. Should be interesting after this week how loyal Frenchie's alliances are to him, because it's been a really messy week. It could have been easy, but it's just kind of turned into a lot. So I think he's painted a target on his back. Brent trying to get into Frenchie's ear about targeting Travis rather than Derek X. Of course, Brent doesn't want to lose a number, and it's not worth it for him to lose Derek X right now. So yeah, he's going to be trying to get Frenchie to go after Travis. And again, Frenchie told Travis he was safe because Travis was one of the guys in his heat the first night. So yeah, Frenchie's breaking promises and changing his mind a lot. Okay, it comes down to picking the veto players. Of course, we have HOH nominees. Caylin gets house guest choice. He chooses Travis, and Derek X gets chosen to play. So it's the worst possible scenario for Frenchie because Derek X and Travis are both playing. The veto is BB swim up bar. Reminds me kind of like old school BB, but also kind of new school. My sister, while we were watching it, was like, this is something Janelle would be miraculously excellent at. Love Janelle, such a comp beast. Travis makes a comment that he's cruising. He really doesn't need to win this. He's in a good position, but he's going to try for his friend, Caylin. And it's just one of those things that you're just like, wake up. Like, he doesn't know what's coming, but he should. Again, Frenchie told him he's safe, so I guess Travis is counting on Frenchie keeping his word. Derek X is smart. He used that businessman startup mentality, going from bottom to top rather than doing top to bottom like everybody else. He says he works on the bottom first since everybody's starting from the top, and then he's just gonna copy the top, which he does. He looks over at Frenchie's and, you know, plugs in the pieces and tweaks it. Yeah, definitely the smartest strategy. Claire is basically all of us thinking, what the heck is Travis doing? Travis was just so lost in this, poor guy. At least he had a chance to play and win. I still feel bad, like, Travis doesn't seem like a bad person. So yeah, Derek X wins. Alyssa gets very close and she's very devastated and disappointed about it. I like how people are already complaining that they don't win anything. Like, you've barely done any competitions. Like, relax. There's time for you to say you don't win anything. So yeah, Frenchie basically tells Derek X that Travis will be going up by saying that people want Travis out, and, you know, they say if they can't get him, then Derek X next week. That's like his buddy, Travis, so it sucks. But he feels, you know, like he has to use that veto to get in with everybody else, and feels that he's going to be a target if he doesn't use it. Which he's probably right, because he already has a target on his back for that whole drama this week. Alyssa pitches to Derek to keep her, and Derek is like, you know, I guess considering it, but Caylin is his buddy, so I didn't really think that he would take it. I know, reading feed updates, that Frenchie tried to change his mind last minute and tried to get Derek to use it on Alyssa. It's just all over the place, and it's rubbing people the wrong way. So yeah, of course, Derek uses the veto on Caylin, and guess who takes his spot? Frenchie calls up his stud bull, Travis, to pop a squat in the nomination chair next to Alyssa. And that's it. Travis has a lot of work to do, and if he wants to stay, he has to work hard. And I don't think he fully understands yet. I read something today that he was gonna wait until the very last day. Why? I don't know. But I think at this point he has strong first boot energy, but I guess you never know. Things could change at the Big Brother house, and this week has been absolutely nuts. Target has changed a bunch of times. So yeah, there's that. Let me know your thoughts on this season, on this episode in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe.